Relaxation will make you stronger both physically and mentally. Strength is often associated with tension. If you want to be stronger, well, tighten up. If you want to try harder, tense up. If something is difficult, bear down and fight your way through it. And obviously, tension has a purpose. You cannot produce force without muscular tension, but there's a difference between using tension and living tense. Because if you're tense all the time, you're actually limiting the amount of strength, speed, flexibility, and endurance that you have available to you. And I think the exact same thing happens mentally. Relax your body and you gain physical options. Relax your mind and you gain mental options. So, is relaxation really counterintuitive? I was working with somebody yesterday, teaching her how to release unnecessary tension during a movement. And she said something interesting. She said, relaxing was counterintuitive. And I thought to myself, and have been thinking to myself, that I do not think it is. I think we've been programmed to be tense. I think relaxation is actually intuitive. We've just been practiced out of it. We're constantly told, try harder, push harder, concentrate harder, brace yourself, focus. Now look at what can happen when you're trying to learn a really hard movement. Your shoulders will come up, your jaw will tighten, you'll make a fist, your breathing changes, your movements become smaller and stiffer, more robotic. You're trying so hard to do the movement correctly that you're actually interfering with your ability to move. Then eventually we figure it out, you relax, and suddenly it clicks. Oh, that was easier. Now the movement didn't actually become easier, you just stopped making it harder. Relaxation makes you physically stronger. So think about throwing a punch. If I'm completely tense throughout the whole punch, even before I start, I'm fighting against myself. Some muscles are trying to accelerate my arm while other muscles are resisting that acceleration. I'm using strength to overcome my own tension. But if I'm relaxed, I can move. Then I can create tension when it's needed. And that's how relaxation can give you access to more strength. It's not that relaxation magically will create stronger muscles. It's because you're wasting less of the strength you already have. And the same thing happens with speed. Unnecessary tension slows you down. Remove some of that interference and you can move faster. The same thing is for flexibility. If your body is constantly protecting itself by contracting, you're limiting your range of motion. And if we look at endurance, every unnecessary contraction costs you energy. If I'm contracting muscles that don't need to be working, I'm spending energy without accomplishing anything. So relaxation can improve your strength, your speed, your flexibility, and your endurance. Not by adding anything, but by removing interference. So now let's apply the same thing to your mind, because this is where it gets even more interesting to me. Because your mind can do exactly what your body does. Under pressure, you can mentally contract. Your attention gets narrower. You start trying to control every little thing. You overthink, you anticipate, you repeat the same thoughts. You become attached to one answer or to one mistake. You become attached to one outcome, and then you try to think even harder. But thinking harder isn't necessarily thinking better. Sometimes you're doing the mentally equivalent of flexing every muscle in your body and wondering why you can't move. Relaxation gives your mind room to move. Mental strength. If your mind is relaxed, you don't suddenly become mentally weak. You have more of your mental strength available in actuality. You can choose where to put your attention instead of having your attention pulled everywhere. You can hold your position when you need to. You can make a decision and commit to it, but you're not wasting mental energy maintaining tension that isn't accomplishing anything. That's mental strength with control. That's mental speed. Relaxation can also make you mentally quicker. If something changes and I'm mentally locked on to what I expected happen, I've got to overcome my own thinking before I can respond to what's actually happening. But if my mind is relaxed, I can recognize the change, I can process it, I can respond. That's mental quickness. It's not necessarily thinking faster. Sometimes it's having less crap in the way of the thought. Physically, if you're tense, your available movement becomes restricted. Mentally, the same thing happens. You get locked into, this is what I thought was going to happen. This is how things were supposed to work. This is what I'm supposed to do. A relaxed mind can change direction. It can receive new information without immediately fighting it. It can let go of an idea that isn't working. It can find another solution. That's mental flexibility. And just like physical flexibility, that gives you more available positions, more places you can go, more ways you can respond. Then if we want to look at mental endurance, how much energy can you spend thinking about things that aren't happening? Replaying conversations, anticipating problems, trying to control every little thing, maintaining arguments inside your head. That's energy. Just like physically contracting muscles all day is exhausting, maintaining unnecessary mental tension is exhausting. Relaxation lets you conserve that energy. And then when something actually requires your attention, you've got attention available. When something requires thought, you've got thought available. When something actually requires action, you've got energy available. Tension isn't the enemy. And I don't want this confused with saying tension is bad. Tension is useful, physically and mentally. There are moments when I need to brace. There are moments when I need a tremendous amount of force. There are moments when I need intense concentration. There are moments when I need to narrow everything down to one thing. The problem is being unable to turn it off. I want attention available to me, but I don't want tension controlling me. I want to be able to tighten up when I need to tighten up and release when I need to release, physically and mentally. Relaxation gives you more options. That's why I think relaxation makes you stronger. It gives you access to more of yourself. Physically, you have more strength available because you're not fighting yourself. More speed because you're not restricting your own movement. More flexibility because you're not unnecessarily contracting. More endurance because you're not wasting energy. And mentally, the same thing. More strength because you're not spending your energy maintaining unnecessary mental tension. More quickness because there's less interference between what's happening and your response to it. More flexibility. You're not locked into one thought expecting one solution. More endurance because you're not exhausting yourself reacting to things that aren't happening. That's why relaxation isn't weakness. And I don't even think relaxation is counterintuitive. I think we've become so accustomed to tension that relaxation feels counterintuitive. There is a difference there. Your body already knows how to relax. Your mind already knows how to relax. The work is recognizing all the places where you've learned to interfere with that. Then you start removing the interference. Not all tension, unnecessary tension. And that's when you start discovering how much strength, speed, flexibility, and endurance you actually have had available the entire time. Once again, I'm Coach Brian with Northwest Elite Spirit, the channel you come to train your mind, body, and spirit. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do that now and make sure to ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all of my newest releases. If you found this content interesting and or helpful, hit the like button and comment your thoughts below. Share with like-minded individuals or anyone you think can use it. And as always, practice. You can hire me to train you online or in person by contacting me at northwestelitespirit@gmail.com. You can find my books, The ABCs of Strength and Endurance and Running Made Easy, on Amazon and Kindle. You can find my manuals, All-Terrain System Foundation and All-Terrain System Elite, on Gumroad. Thank you. Oh.